Hey kiddies, for Tubi Halloween, we got a little treat for you. Terrifier. As usual, this episode is brought to you by Cool Dude Inc. So go down to the description, click the link, and go make yourself look good. And also stick around till the end because we're going to hand out the Badass Award as well as survival tips for this episode. Now let's cue up the Whiskey Bats, who you can listen to on Spotify. Go back down to the description and you can click the link for their YouTube channel and listen to their other stuff. This film is directed by Damien. Cool name. I hate that shit when you have the same name. When somebody has the same name as somebody else, they're like, oh, nice name. Like you had any fucking thing to do with what you got named. Shut up. Same kind of people are like, oh, shouldn't have bought a Chevy. Shouldn't have bought a Ford. Shouldn't talk. Shut your mouth. You got nothing to say. The film opens with a talk show host talking to a mutilated survivor of Art the Clown. The victim kind of looks like E.T. Kind of mutilated, kind of healed. And of course the host is beautiful. And afterwards, the victim can hear the host on the phone talking to somebody else and like kind of talking shit, making fun of her. Like, man, if I survive and I look like that, do me a favor, just kill me and all this stuff. Not realizing that the victim is in earshot and can hear every goddamn word she's saying. And then it's bye-bye, host. In the next scene, two drunk girls, Dawn and Tara, stumble to their car. Art the Clown, aka the Terrifier, is taking out the trash. Like he's literally carrying a garbage bag. I don't know what's in it. They acknowledge him and decide they're both a little too fucked up to drive. Maybe they should go eat. Especially Dawn's car, and she's way too fucked up to drive. They go to the nearest pizza joint and have a seat and order some food. Enter the Terrifier. He sits at a nearby table and pulls creepy faces at them. Dawn, with her extra dose of liquid courage, decides to go sit with him on his lap and take selfies. Nothing to worry about here. Seems Dawn couldn't sense danger if it bit her in the ass, while Tara seems to be the more sensible one. But the way that Terrifier's staring at her, it's creepy. Nothing phases him. He's just eyes glued. Then he goes to the 25-cent machine and gets her a ring. They get their pizza and the owner violently throws Terrifier out after using the bathroom. The girls walk back to the car and realize they now have a flat tire. Tara's like, so you have a spare, right? He's like, yeah, it's on the car. She's like, well, now what are we gonna do? So Tara decides she's gonna call her sister. She called her sister up. Her sister's studying for midterms and doesn't really want to leave the house right now. So at that moment, her drunken roommate comes in with a guy and they're making out because they've just come back from a Halloween party. And Vic's kind of like, on second thought, I'll be right there. As Tara and Dawn wait in the car, Tara starts connecting the dots. What if that fucking clown slashed our tires? Of course, Dawn, the denier of reality, critical thinking, common sense, perfect first victim. Meanwhile, back at the pizza place, we see the inside of the bathroom. It's like covered in shit, which is weird. This creepy killer clown guy also likes to shit up bathrooms and smear shit all over the place. That was kind of a weird, it's kind of funny. It is fucking gross, but it was like, why? And when you're watching it, you're kind of like, oh. But when I look back at it, it's like, fuck would he do that? Who does that? But the pizza cook, who had to clean it up, and he raised a really good point. He's like, hey man, this isn't very sanitary. I'm the cook. Why am I cleaning shit off the walls? But he goes back into the kitchen area and he looks and he sees his boss's head up there, severed and lit up like a jack-o'-lantern. And Art the Clown moves in and kills him. And the kills in this film are brutal. Back in the car, Tara has to pee. Myself, I'm kind of a planner. Like, If I know I'm not going to be in a bathroom while, I would have peed. Like, whether I felt like I had to pee or not, I would have peed in the fucking pizza place. A creepy guy walks out of a near building, and Tara's like, I can go ask that guy. Maybe he knows where a bathroom is. So she asks him. And he's a little reluctant at first, but he's like, all right, I'll take you. And he takes her to the train spotting bathroom and warns her, because he's there to bomb the place for rats. So he's like, there might be rats. I haven't bombed yet, but you got to hurry up and get out of here. So, because I need to bomb. That's why he's there. He's an exterminator. And he's like, all right, do you want me to wait for you? She's like, no, I'm cool. I can find my way back. I would have never found my way back. If somebody's taking me somewhere and I have to go around 2 corners, I'm not making it back. I'm lost at that point. And to pour alcohol on top of it, yeah, you're never going to see me again. While waiting for Tara, Dawn turns on the radio. It's 2016. You're taking selfies and all over social media and you're still listening to the fucking radio? But a 1950s style bulletin comes on, talking about a double homicide. And they give an exact description of Art the Clown, who Dawn and Tara have seen. And then the car door opens, and Dawn's like, oh, thank God you're back. I just heard the creepiest thing on the radio. And she looks over, expecting to see Tara, but it's not Tara. It's Terrifier. Elsewhere, Tara's done pissing and trying to find her way back, and she runs into this weird lady who has her baby. It's actually a doll. But she's treating it like it's her real baby. And she's kind of like, hey, how do I get back to the entrance? I want to get the fuck out of here. And she finally gets back to the car, but there's no Dawn. And in the distance, there's Terrifier doing some Terrifier shit. She goes back in the building and sees Mike, the exterminator. And she's like, hey, but he's got earbuds in. You can't hear a word she's saying. And just then, the Terrifier nabs her. He injects her in the neck. I don't know what the fuck he puts in there, but he's got a syringe and he pumps her neck full of something. And she wakes up gagged and tied to a chair. The Terrifier starts going through his glad bag of tricks and he pulls out a hacksaw. And she's like, no. She's like freaking out. She's gagged, so she can't actually say no. She's like, But after harassing her for a second, he unveils Dawn, who's hanging upside down naked. Spread eagle. Then he proceeds to just start hacksawing her from JJ to nose. With quite a bit of ease, I might add, but it's still, I'm not a girl, but ouch. Ow. And that could be one of the most gruesome scenes, because it was done pretty well. Yeah, it was gross. So Tara breaks the arms off the chair, and then she escapes. She goes running off, Now that it's too late to save Dawn. And when he finds her, she's got a 2x4, and she starts beating him down with it. She's like getting the better of him. Little does she know, Terrifier's packing heat.
Art's got a gun.
He fucking shoots her in the leg. Then he shoots her again just below the ribs. There's a final shot we don't see, but we just hear. And now he's out of bullets. Really? You got 3 bullets. He reaches into his glad bag of tricks right about the time that Vic arrives. Vic's outside, and Terrifier hears like a text message from Tara's phone. He reads the message, then he takes a little selfie with Dawn, then he shoots Tara in the face twice, which was like kind of a surprise. Like, I was expecting, Tara had all the ingredients of a final girl, and now she's dead. So that's our first 2 main characters dead, 4 kills altogether. Just as they introduce Vic, like, for real. I mean, I don't think it really counts when she's in her dorm doing homework. I was like, all right, now we've just switched, and we still got, like, a decent amount of movie left. The crazy lady witnesses those final shots, and she finds Mike the exterminator and tells him, but he wants nothing to do with it. Which leads to him getting a hammer to the face, and then his phone gets a hammer to the face. And now the crazy doll lady's baby is missing. She wanders around and she finds the Terrifier cradling her little baby doll. So she tries to Luke Skywalker his ass out of the Death Star, but it ain't working. But luckily, right about then, Mike's friend that he called before he died shows up and honks a horn, distracting Terrifier. Elsewhere, Vic hears Dawn's phone. Then she finds what's left of Dawn, and she's horrified, because it's pretty gross. She runs away, and then she thinks she's found Tara, but it's not Tara. Once again, it's Terrifier. Not too far away is the moribund doll lady. And Art the Clown, the Terrifier, is wearing... He's wearing Tara. He's wearing her skin. That's his costume. And Vic hides in like a big cabinet or something with like a knot hole so she can see the whole thing. But Art the Clown, it's like he can see here. Or he's playing really well at like, yeah, you got to be over there somewhere, so I'm going to focus in and make it. I'm going to trick you into thinking that I can see you. But she starts freaking out because it is kind of freaky. Because it looks like he's looking right at her. Now he's got kind of this Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation vibe going, where it's like, what the fuck? And he finds her, but then he finds Mike's buddy, and he puts a knife through his head and decapitates him. Then he goes back into his old clothes. He's back to looking like Terrifier again, riding a little bicycle, jigsaw style. And Vic is still trying to escape. He finds her again. He puts shrink wrap over her face, and she struggles. It takes her the longest time to even think of the idea of like poking herself in the mouth so that she can breathe out. She's like, it's like she's on the brink of death before she's like, oh, I know. Oh, and then she can breathe and she escapes. And Art the Clown gives her the finger. And Mike is still alive. And Vic finds Tara's corpse like sitting in a chair, even though didn't he skin her and wear her as a costume? She mourns while simultaneously trying not to puke. And Terrifier sees her and he starts whipping her with his chain, beating her ass. And Mike comes up behind him and bashes Terrifier in the head, knocks him out. Then he takes Vic to a room and he calls the police dispatch like, hey, we got problems down here. Send as many cops as you can. We're not sticking around, but this is the address where they need to come. See ya. And the Terrifier's back, and he stomps Mike's head in. He tries to get Vic, but she pokes him in the eye and makes it outside, but not quite outside. She can see her car, but she can't actually go out there and get to it. And so as she's trying to think of a way to get to it, all of a sudden, Terrifier comes crashing through the wall in a truck. It's Mike's buddy's friend's truck, and I don't know how he did that so fast. But he did. It looked like he like hit her with the car in the process, but he knocks her down. Then he hops out and he like starts eating her face. And right then the cops show up. Guns are drawn and her face is fucked, which is weird because when the cops like pull the guns out, he looks like he's just kind of leisurely like, you know. But like he ate a lot of her face in a short amount of time. And the cops are like, hey man, get off her, stop eating her face. And they're like, get away from the girl, we're gonna shoot. And then the Terrifier pulls out his gun, sticks it in his mouth and pulls the trigger, blows the back of his head off. And the cops are like, no! You know, the cops always do that where they're trying to catch the bad guy and the bad guy kills himself. And the cops are like, oh, no! When they should be like, cool, no paperwork for us tonight. So the cops drop all the bodies off at the coroner's office, even Vic, even though she's still alive. And after they leave the MD alone, the MD opens the Terrifier's bag. He's like, oh, this is the killer. And the Terrifier is still alive. And he grabs the MD by his throat and pulls his head out. And you can see like blood coming out of the suicide hole. Like we didn't imagine that gunshot in his head. But he's somehow still alive. And he kills the fucking MD. Like what the fuck? What the fuck is Art the Clown?
1 year later.
Turns out, plot twist, kinda, the E.T. looking lady from the opening that killed the host, that's Vic. Her face is all fucked up because the Terrifier tried to eat her. But now what's going on for the sequel? Is she bad now? She already killed somebody she killed somebody. Does that mean her and Terrifier are going to be partners? I don't know why she'd want to partner up with that bastard after what he did to her, but she's a killer now. At least in that moment. She's not happy. Her face is fucked. The Badass Award goes to Vic. She set out to save her sister, yet she didn't really know what that would entail. And it's kind of tough because, like, she ended up being bad. I went through this last week when I was doing Halloween at Aunt Ethel's, where the badass turned out to be somebody who ended up being, I won't spoil it, but it's like, but she didn't do any bad in the film, whereas in this one, the opening of the film, she kills somebody. So it's like, how do we do it? Well, okay, you're a badass in the moment of the film, apparently. There's nobody else to choose from. Everybody else is dead. Okay, somebody's got to be the badass. It's her. She faced Terrifier many times, didn't get killed by him, didn't stop him either, but she was brave in the way that she was trying to save her sister. Even though at the same time, she was also trying to get away from her roommate having sex with whoever that guy was. Survival tales. Empty your bladder anytime you're in a public facility if you don't know how long it'll be until you're getting home again. One of my worst fears is getting into a fight with a full bladder. Always have a spare tire and know how to use it. Just avoid clowns, especially at night. I don't care if it's Halloween. Hell, I don't care if it's the fucking circus. Alright, that wraps up that episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.